It is a beautiful chilly day out here today, and I got all my Viking medieval stuff out. So I'm gonna give you a tour along my Viking kit and make a short video out of it. Maybe it's not gonna be a short video. Hi everyone, it's Signe from Sign of Horses. I have a treat for you today. At least I hope it's gonna be a treat, because I got all my Viking kit out to show you all the stuff I have, which is way too much, but what I really want is to inspire you all to make your own kit and get your costume ready. Let's start with this one. This is more of a Frankish style. It is a wool with, I really love the work I put on the detailing on this one. I got a little bit of fishbone wool on the inside just to finish off the seams, and I think I actually sewn this entire thing by hand. I don't often do that. Yeah, this is completely sewn by hand. And it's based on a Frankish style overdress. The ribbon was bought. This is not all hand embroidered, but these little bits are. So I tend to wear this over a simple dress, and then with a veil and a little crown piece, and then I'm a Frankish style early medieval lady. Haven't worn it in ages. Sometimes I wear this in daily life. Simply because it's such a nice piece. Yeah, love this piece. As a costume designer, what you do is you look at history and you get inspired by what you find in clothing and costume and attributes that you see. I've spent hours and hours in museums drawing, sketching the details I saw on not just Viking stuff and the Sutton Hoo ship burials, but also mummies, 1920s, Egyptian coffins, everything. It all inspires you to come to a style or even modern day clothing that has details or hints of our past in it. You might have seen this one before. It's one I've recently made, and this is all hand embroidered. It's not completely hand sewn. The inside seams are machine stitched, just for time's sake. I'm so short on time nowadays with 2 horses and a job, and then vlogging and Instagram and everything. I put it on a hanger here over my wool dress and my linen underdress, which I love. This has served me well for many, many costumes. I can wear this underneath the Frankish costume as well. And the linen overdress I can wear over trousers and stuff, no problem. And this is a lovely card woven band. I didn't do this myself. I know how to do it, but I haven't done it, so I'm slightly rusty, and I could not make patterns like this and make it this beautiful. So I had somebody else who's very, very skillful at doing it. Had somebody else do it, and then I've decorated it with a bunch of clasps and stuff. Get some Viking bling on. I've turned towards the copper or bronze colored stuff more lately. I like it. I used to be all silver girl, and now I'm leaning towards the copper. Let's have a little chitty chatty about historically or hysterically, it doesn't work as well in English, hysterically correct, hysteriously correct, let's call it that. In my life there have been 2 or actually 3 groups of people. I've been a LARP or live action role player, running around in the forest with my mother's velvet curtains made into a somewhat fantasy medieval dress, and really enjoying that. Still enjoying it, by the way, not in velvet curtains anymore, but still enjoying it. And I have been with reenactment groups of mostly medieval and Viking ages, and also I have a history in theatre design. I was trained as a theatre designer at the College of Art, and I have my bachelor degree in theatre design. These 3 groups look at history differently, and I think the LARP community and the theatre or film design community are more similar in that aspect, and they kind of oppose the reenactment community, and also the reenactment community tends to really oppose the LARP and the video and film, theatre and film industry. So they look at what has been found on grave sites and what has been found in terps. I'm on one of those here, right? I'm looking at the church, which is built on a terp. And that little slope that you see, that's the terp. And they actually dug into that a couple of years ago, and I was right here, and I was really, really excited to see all that. They didn't find anything spectacular, but still, I live on an archaeological site. How cool is that? And those are perfect places to preserve a little bit of history of this region. And one of the clasps that has been found in one of the terps around here is stunningly beautiful and amazing craftsmanship. I'll see if I can fit in a photo right here for you of that clasp. And it's, for me, it's incredibly inspiring how they made it and how they... I love to study history. I love to do... but it's just a fragment of an entire society that we don't know anymore. We don't know the people. We don't know the decisions they made. We don't know why they threw away or buried the stuff that they buried or threw away. And that makes reenactment for me so much limited to the stuff that has actually been found, which is just the tip of the iceberg. My creative mind is just not able to cope with that tip of the iceberg. I want more. So I tend to go out and expand into the world of imagination and make costumes that might not be historically correct or archaeologically correct, as I'd like to call them. They're historically inspired. Is a lovely woolen coat, which could be Viking or medieval, could be any era actually. It's made out of an old woolen blanket and it's so warm. Actually, I'm wondering why I'm not wearing it now, because it is chilly out here today. And then I have my medieval hood with a very long lirripeep on the end and hand-sewn buttons and everything. Like, I love these little berries at the end. This is more late medieval, by the way. This is more like 14th, 15th century. So I have this in case I'm with a group who is more into the later stuff, and then I can somewhat blend in. Whether you are doing LARP or reenactment or costume making or whatever you want to do or want to call it, I think it's important to have the knowledge of how they did it and have the knowledge of what is out there and what is found, and study, go to museums, study books, study Google. You know, I'm old school. I grew up with libraries and no internet and a lot of musea. I was lucky that my dad lived in London and I could go to the British Museum at least once a year. And there's going to be a big exhibition on Vikings right here in Friesland soon at the end of this year, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait to go with my sketchbook and make sketches instead of photographs, because if you sketch something then you feel like you're recreating it again, and a photograph is made in seconds and you're not really studying all the lines and all the... So go out there, draw, do these analog things, undigitize yourself. No, whatever you do, if you want to take photos, then you can take photos and share them on Instagram. Why not do both? Make sketches and take photos, so you can make sketches of the photos again. Whatever. I've been staring at this little piece of moss on the ground for like ever. It's so cute. Look how cute it is. I wish the camera would focus on the piece of moss instead of me. I am not interesting. The moss is very interesting. Focus on the moss, camera. Will you focus on the moss? Focus on the moss. No. No, no, nope. Not doing it at all. Okay, back out. Try this. Focus on the moss. Focus. Focus. not working. Sorry. I don't know enough about cameras to get this detail of the... Take it from me, it's a cute piece of moss. Believe me. Let's talk weaponry. I have my Viking sword. It's a very simple Viking sword, not at all decorated or fancy. As you can see, it's been used a lot. It's got some nicks in it, and I love it because it's a good weight and length for me to swing from horseback. The scabbard is also pretty simple. I've always been struggling with the attachment of the belt. I don't like it. It's not historically correct, which is not a problem. But I always be having trouble with carrying it on my hip, and then as you can see, it's right against my boob, so it's really hard to. When you ride with it, it also moves, so you get hit by your own sword all the time, and it makes it kind of hard to draw as well. When I ride with it like that, it tends to flop and hit Blizz on his haunches. Poor pony. Oh, he's so cool, my little pony is. This is my sword. I named it Vakar. Vakar. It means being awake and being aware. Yeah. This used to be my LARP shield. It used to be covered in foam and latex. I uncovered it to its bare wood and then covered it with leather. I think I made a DIY tutorial on that somewhere in my videos. Go watch it if you want to know more about the shield. I have found at the Battle of Dornenburg that when I carried it on my back, at least my back was protected from attacks from arrows and swords. So for me it's kind of like an armor. I feel like a turtle. Ninja turtle. Ninja turtle. Ninja turtle. Yes, I grew up watching Ninja Turtles. I am cool like that. I'm like an 80s girl. Woohoo! Comment if you're like an 80s kid as well. The latest addition to my armament is a lovely axe. I've always wanted an axe. As a LARPer, I always fought with an axe because swords are just, I don't... Ugh. I can handle them, but nah, not my thing. And axes, gosh, I love a good axe. It just... Oh. It just feels like the thing for me. And what I do with LARPs is that I get the sword, catch the sword right on here, and then you could get it out of the way, and then I have a dagger or another axe sometimes, and I could actually go in with that. I just love axes. So, brand new, not being used yet. It needs a name. Help me figure out a name for this lovely, lovely axe. It has plenty of details on it. It has runes, rune sayings, very in deep and magical rune sayings like I am hungry and I love pizza. Honestly, it's on there. There's the maker's signature on there. There's Brissinger on here. Yay, love that. And there's Blizz on the other side, so my two horses are on it. And he also decorated the leather handle, which it's hard to see. It's hard to make out, but I know it's there and I love it. It's a Sleipnir unicorn. How amazing is that? An 8-legged unicorn. It's the coolest thing. Next up, in the armament, armor bows. This one I got from a friend, and he actually made this himself, my German friend Enno. Enno, thank you so much for this lovely, lovely bow. It used to be his long bow when he was a shorter chappie, and it's lovely and short. I can shoot it from horseback. It looks so lovely and naked and authentic. Really, really like it. It is a lovely light little bow. And then I have my Mongolian type rider bow, which is brilliant on horseback. Not at all Viking. Although I bet they went to that area and looked and had a look at how the Mongolians shot their bows and were greatly inspired by it and practiced, got one to take home and practiced archery as well. Yeah, so love this little bow. Not a very good archer and didn't take any lessons or any classes, just a couple of times some introductory courses. Intuitive shooting is what I tend to do. and see where the arrow flies and see if I can improve. Watch a lot of YouTube videos on other people shooting. It's all about posture and stuff like that. Great pastime to have. So what I'm wearing today is pretty much my basic Viking-ish kit. I've got my tunic, my blue tunic. I dyed this colour myself and I still love it, with hand sewn embroidery on it. Yep, there you go. And then over that, to keep me warm, is a wool tunic in a greenish colour, which is also decorated on the shoulders right here with a bunch of birds made out of felt. You hardly ever see that because it's mainly covered up by my leather, what do you call this? Coat? Sleeveless coat? I don't know. I was inspired with stuff I saw in the movies and made this out of strips of leather. They're sewn over a ripcord fabric, and I used the fabric on both sides. So I used the outside of the fabric with actually the ripcords on it, and then the inside of the fabric, which has this lovely little detail, but it matches colour, but it's slightly different. I think that was a stroke of genius on my part. And then it's finished off with leather, and like I said, leather strips, and under the armpits it has this shape, leather shape. To top it off, I have this collar of just a remnant piece of sheepskin I got. I got a whole bag of sheepskin remnants, and this one spoke to me, appealed to me, to make a collar out of it. It's simply tied with a fur coat clasp, not very Viking, not very medieval, but it does the job. Keeps my neck warm. You probably noticed my two little raven brooches. They have been on there for as long as I have this coat, and I love them. My little hugging and mooning, keeping me safe. Yep, so that's my basic outfit. I'm still looking for a good pair of trousers, and of course my shoes, which are more medieval than Viking and have modern plastic rubber modern rubber soles, but they are leather inside and out, and have leather laces as well. Love these, very comfortable, more comfortable than I thought they would be. Not watertight though. So another essential part of my Viking kit is my leather belt. This is actually a tie strap from my old western saddle. That's why it's so nice and warm and has holes in awkward places. Still, I love it. I made the bag myself out of felt. The knife was made by my father from a skimmed, a Scottish kilt knife, and he made the handle, attached the handle, which is reindeer, not reindeer, elk I think, I don't know, deer. And then I made the little sheath out of a piece of leather as well. This was given to me and I love it. This is my favorite belt buckle ever, with the horses on. It's been with me for years and years and years, and I hope many years to come. You can see it's a little bit worn, and it has like 8 different kinds of colours of bronze. I don't care. I like it if it's worn out. That was a weird English accent. Never mind. And then this little pouch has been with me as well for ages. I think it belonged to my father's as well before it came to me, and I had to fix it with a new bottom lining, and I made that out of felt instead of leather, because I don't know how to sew leather this neatly. It's done so neatly, and it's got a very modern claspy thingy, but it serves me well, so I keep it on my belt. And then a tiniest little cooksa for the slight sip of meat on the days where you need it. That is a recent acquisition. I think we got it in Winschoten together with Iteke. We both got one of these tiny little meat tasters. On the belt are also my collection. This is my collection of Viking bling, and I've been collecting them at different fairs for years and years and years now. I think this was my first. Now, how the belt loops on. I get the end of the belt, stick it through the horses' heads, and then tie it to where I want it to be. Then it goes through the other side of the buckle, which kind of secures it. Then it goes up along the piece that's around my waist, and then it goes down the loop it has created right there, and that will fix it securely for the entire day. It's the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends to subscribe. Whatever you do, and as often as you can, release that inner Viking!